Hey gang, Steve Angeline here. I wanted to do a short video for you. I get this type of question all the time. What's the best way to go after a FSBO? So let's break it down. Let's talk about it a little bit today and go over some different options that you have. So what I have down here is really the 3 or 4 best ways to go after a FSBO and make that contact with, and then be able to stay with them through the whole process. Okay. So number one way, and it's the way that's been around for about 50 years, hasn't changed very much, is cold calling. You can cold call them, you qualify them through a series of questions. You try to set up a preview appointment. Once you've gone on that preview appointment, you then can call them, text them, or email them. Statistics will show that the vast majority of agents out there do not like cold calling. Cold calling is also getting harder and harder to do because of the do not call list, and also to the adverse abuse that you take when you make these calls. So a lot of agents shy away from that. In my particular area outside of Washington, D.C. in Northern Virginia, 90% of the people don't even answer the phones. Okay, you might have heard me tell the story that happened to me about 3 years ago. I went on a preview appointment, and the seller commended me for coming for the preview appointment. He told me only by accident did he pick up my call, and he says that's why I got a disposable phone. And I immediately thought, wow, I now know 2 groups of people who use a burner phone: FSBOs and drug dealers. So it depends on your area. I've talked to other agents in parts of the country where people pick up the phones there. I talked to one agent in Kentucky, and he says it's just the opposite. 90% of the people there in his area do pick up the phone. So I think that's wonderful. I think you have to judge, do you like making cold calling? What are the results you're having? The averages will show you that the results are you get maybe 1-2% out of 100 good conversations in any type of cold calling that you do. The much more preferred way that I like to make contacts with FSBOs is going to their open house previews. I do have some agents that actually just go door knocking a FSBO and ask for a preview that way. Haven't got to that point. I've heard mixed results about that. I much prefer going to the open house preview. You can get on Trulia, find out your open house previews. Your open houses that are scheduled for either Friday, Saturday, Sunday. It's a clean lookup of that information, and you can go to them. Again, you don't have to try to burn yourself out by going to lots of previews. If you just go to a couple a week, by the end of the year, you've gone to over 100 previews. The problem with just doing previews is that realistically in your area, maybe only 20-25% of the FSBOs actually have an open house. So there is that vast majority that you're never even going to get to, or they don't even know you're alive. So far, two ways to go after FSBOs. You can cold call them. You can do the open house preview, or if you're really bold, you can go knock on their door and see if you can get a preview that way. So that would be the first 2 ways to cold call and get previews. The third way is you can mail them. I prefer to use Mailbox Power. Great way to put their house on the postcard or the greeting cards or the letters, whatever you're sending out. Again, you're trying to catch their attention by doing this, so you're just not another real estate agent postcard going in their mailing. I have been in my house now for 34 years, and I constantly receive 2 to 3 real estate agent postcards a week or every 10 days. And it's the typical postcard with the agent on there telling you why he's the world's greatest or she's the world's greatest and blah, blah, blah. So that's why I prefer to use the picture of the house on there. It sets you apart. Don't over verbalize by text on these postcards. Okay. I saw an agent the other day. He put down that, hey, I want to be your backup plan. And on the postcard, it said, FSBO, your backup plan. Don't overstate things. Real estate agents have a tendency to try to sell themselves way too much. So just be subtle with your approach to them. And then you can follow up with them by mailing them every week. So to review these areas again, is cold calling, try to set a preview appointment. You can qualify them on the phone also, and then you call, text, or email, follow up with them. Open house previews, the advantage there is get their email address, and then you can follow up with them by email or mail with them. The way that I prefer is mailing through Mailbox Power, and then your follow-up is once a week with them through that way. The absolute best way to go after a FSBO is when you do the triple crown of FSBOs that I like to call it. That's where you get a preview either by calling or going to an open house or being bold and door knocking them. You then follow up with them by email, and you also do the mailing with them. You're giving yourself that much more of a chance to get them when they've decided that they've had enough. Again, the key for FSBOs is that the average FSBO is going to give up somewhere in the area of about that 40th day to through that 60th day. So you got to hang in there with them. Yes, FSBOs are going to come on the market. They're going to go off the market. That's okay. All right. That's the nature of the beast. Okay. The statistics from the National Real Estate Association will tell you that 87% of all FSBOs list with an agent. I think that's come down since COVID, but I still believe it's somewhere in the 60% range. So I prefer the triple crown of FSBOs. Preview them, email them, and mail them. Get yourself in the game with them. I think it's a great help. So some additional information for you out there is where to find these leads if you're going to, one, call them or email them. I prefer My Plus Leads. It's a lot less expensive than some of the other systems out there, a lot less expensive. Okay. FSBO data is only $29 a month. Expired data is $49 a month. You can do them both for $59. A lot of the emails are there. There's also the phone numbers are there, as well as they clean the list for it, and they tell you if you do not call, if they're on the do not call list. So very inexpensive. If you're targeting FSBOs, $29 a month. We like to do it, even though we don't call, we like to spend the $29 a month with My Plus Leads because a lot of them include the email address. I can then get them on an email drip as well as mailing them, even though I never went to one of their previews or open houses. So I hope this information was of help to you. Bear in mind, I do have a online school platform, getlistings.org, that I really dig deep into these elements that I talked about. I have 3 different courses on there: marketing for seller leads, how to get FSBO listings, no calling required. This goes into how to go to their open house, what to say, how to follow up with them. And then the last course I have is FSBO prospecting with Mailbox Power. Getlistings.org gives you all the information that you need on there. There's a short video that goes with each one of these. So hope it helped. Get your game plan down. Start attacking the FSBOs. The number one thing, the most important thing that I got to remind you of is that until you have made contact with them, they don't even know you're alive. So the more things that you can do to put your name in front of them on a consistent basis will certainly help if and when they do decide to flip from being a FSBO to wanting an agent to list their property. Hope it helped. Have a great day. See you on the next training video.